Hi guys, Mary again. I'm going to show you how to do a moss stitch. So the moss stitch I'm going to show you today, it's done on over sort of 1, 2, 3 rows. So it'll be a sort of a repeat. Yeah, so we're going to start off with our slip knot. And the yarn I'm using today is the Patons double knit, which is actually seems to be slightly thicker than the normal double knit I use. So I'm using a 5mm hook or needle for this. So we're going to cast on. So cast on. So you put your needle in, make your cross, put your wool around and into the middle, bring from the back to the front, and then bring this wool up, yarn up, and then put your needle into the middle. Now don't pull this too tight when you're pulling it, just have your tension a little bit, not too much, because otherwise you won't be able to get your needle into your yarn on the next round. So you make a cross into the middle, bring this from the back to the front because it's catching the piece of wool you've just put around, bring your needle up, and then this goes in there. So that's 4. So I'm going to do 12, cast on 12, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you can do any multiple of this yourself. This is just basically to give you the idea. So now I'm going to do, as usual, my plain row. So it's the traditional plain I'm using for this. So plain is in, yarn around, bring it from the back to the front. It's the same as casting on, except this time it slides off. So in, make your cross, wool into the middle, bring your needle from the back to the front and slide it off. So you just continue on right across the row. And the last stitch, as always, is a plain. Give a little tug there just to make sure. So now you have the start of it. So now on the next row, make sure you're not going to use your small tail. You're going to do a knit stitch into the first. So for the next stitch, do a purl. And then you do a knit. And then you do a purl. And then you do a knit. And then you do a purl. And then you do a knit. And then you do a purl. And then you do your knit stitch. And then you do your purl stitch. And then you do your knit stitch. Now, I had told you before, the start and the end is always going to be a knit. So if you have 2 knits together, don't worry, because it will. This is purely just to give you a nicer edge. Okay, so we swap over. Now the first stitch again, knit, always a knit. Now for this one, for this row here, what you're going to do is you follow what you did the last time. So this is going to be a purl this time. Okay, so you're going to do a purl, plain, purl, plain, purl, plain, purl. There you go onto your plain. There you go onto your purl. There you go onto your plain. And your last stitch is going to be a plain. Okay, give a little tug again, and you're going to turn. Now as you can see here, you have 2 stitches. You've got your 2, well the first one, don't worry about the first one because that's actually from your start off row. And then you have 2 plains. Here you've got 2 purls. So when you turn it around in the next row, you are going to, first stitch always going to be a knit stitch. Okay, now you have a purl stitch here and a plain. So now what you're going to do, this is where it changes. So you're going to do the next 2 rows, it's going to be the opposite. So we're going to do a plain, a purl, plain, a purl, plain, purl, plain, purl, plain, purl, and your last stitch is going to be plain. Okay, so now we're going to turn it around and we are going to repeat what you have here. So you have a plain here, a purl. So the first stitch is always going to be your plain. So you do your plain first. This is your plain, the bubble is your purl. Okay, so you're going to go in and do another row, repeating, copy the row before. Okay, plain, purl, plain, purl, plain, purl, and you're going to do last stitch, knit stitch. Okay, so that's your 2 rows done. So the next row, you're going to change back to what you did the first time round. So as usual, you do your plain, and then where you have your, you can see you've got 1 plain, 2 plain. Now you're going to do purl, purl on top of the plain, and then you're going to do a plain, and a purl, plain, purl, plain, purl, plain, and the last one, plain. Okay, so now you're going to repeat what you did on this row. So go back in, first stitch, always plain. Now what you've seen here, your bubble, so that means you're going to do a purl. So wool to the front, and then you go into the top of your stitch there. Then for purl, or for plain, bring it behind. For purl, you bring it to the front. Plain, your wool goes to the back. Now to the front. To the back. To the front. Plain. Purl. Plain. And the last stitch, plain. Okay. So now you're going to, you have done 2 rows of that, so now we're going to do first stitch as always, so plain. Now as you can see, you have 2 bubbles here, so you're going to do plain, so you can leave your wool at the front, at the behind your needle. So you're going to do a plain, purl, plain, purl, plain, purl, plain, purl, plain, purl. Now last one is going to be your plain stitch. Okay, so I'll just show you one more row just so you'll see what it looks So you've only got one plain row here. You can see you have plain and purl there. So you're going to go plain here, purl, plain, purl, plain, purl, plain. And the last one again, plain. So now you can actually see what it looks like. That's the double moss, which I think actually looks pretty cool. And like that, you have your plains on either side. So if you were doing a jumper or anything, or something that you wanted to join on, you would actually sew in these two sides beside these ones. So you have your pattern on the inside. So I hope you liked that video. And if you do, please subscribe and share. And I'll see you in the next one.